Hello students, welcome back to the sixth video. Today we are going to see in detail about the impact of the Mongol invasion of the Delhi Sultanate. So what had happened during the Mongol invasion? The northeastern part of Iran, that is Traxocean, that is old name for the Central Asia, was invaded by the Mongols under their rule. Okay, the first person was famously known as Genghis Khan in the year 1219. Soon after, they attacked Delhi Sultanate. During the reign of Alauddin Khalji and the early 18th, reigning period of Muhammad Tughlaq. So, two times he had attacked. Very bad attack was there, which you can see during Khalji dynasty's time and Tughlaq dynasty's time. There was an increase in the attack of Delhi Sultans. As you know, that the Mongols also wanted to capture the India, right? So, they wanted to avoid this. That's why they tried to consolidate their soldiers and make a standing army over there so that they could protect India from the invasion of the Mongols. Consequently, they had to mobilize a large standing army in Delhi, which posed a huge administrative challenge. Okay, that's why they had to keep a standing army to protect themselves from the attack of Genghis Khan. Okay, now how did it deal with the Mongol invasion during Khalji time and during Tughlaq time? Let's have a look. Delhi was attacked twice. He raised a long-standing army. We are talking about Alauddin Khalji. Now, during Muhammad Tughlaq's time, he raised a long-standing army and was confident about the strength of his army. So, both the time, during Khalji dynasty and during Tughlaq dynasty's time, both had the standing army and both were very confident about handling from the enemy. Second, Alauddin Khalji had constructed a new garrison town named Siri for his soldiers, a place where the soldiers had a fortified boundary, wherein the soldiers could bring in things and hide themselves out of it. Then the second part is Muhammad Tughlaq's time period. Soldiers garrisoned the oldest of the four cities of Delhi, named Delhi-il-Kuna. After emptying it of its residents, the residents were sent to the new capital of Daulatabad. Tughlaq's time period, Muhammad Tughlaq's time, soldiers had been garrisoned not in a garrison town, but they had been garrisoned in the resident area where the people were staying. So, he ordered all the people to shift from Delhi to Daulatabad, and he wanted to turn Delhi to Daulatabad as a capital of India. So, that's why people had been asked to move from one place to the other. So, these are the 2 points. Third point, during Alauddin Khalji's time, soldiers were fed using the produce collected as tax from land between Ganga and Yamuna. Tax was fixed, 50% of peasants' yield. How much percent? 50% of the yield. So, that's how the tax was taken as kharaj, if you remember. Then next is Muhammad Tughlaq's time. Produce from the same area was collected as tax for feeding the army. Additional taxes were also levied to meet the expenses of maintaining such a large number of soldiers. This coincided with the famine in the area. Now, in the case of Alauddin Khalji, as you see, 50% of kharaj tax which was charged in, whereas in Muhammad Tughlaq's time you can see that the expenses which were there, that was taken from the people, but during that time famine took. So, most probably when Tughlaq had taken any decision which always went wrong, as you can see, the first place you saw that Delhi, he asked the resident people to move from one place to the other, that is from Delhi to Daulatabad, as they wanted to garrison that particular resident area instead of building a garrison town. So that was a wrong decision which had been taken by him. Why? Because most of the people died, they had to travel from one place to the other. The second case you saw, that is the taxes which were collected, additional taxes which were levied on the expenses, and for maintaining large number of soldiers, they were increasing the tax. Again, the soldiers who were there, they had to be paid off to be kept as consolidated members over that area. Now famine took place, so peasants could not pay the revenue tax. That was a big disadvantage in the decision taking of Muhammad Tughlaq. Coming to the next point, Alauddin Khalji, he paid the soldiers in cash rather than iqtas. Iqtas, as you know, it's land. He controlled the prices of goods in Delhi to prevent the merchants from inflating them due to the dependence of the soldiers on them for supplies. So the overall control was in the hands of the sultans instead of in the hands of the merchants, because merchants, as you know, king won't know, then they would increase the rate. So to lessen that, they had a powerful study on all the crop production, and then they had been given the value for that, right? So that's how the dependency was kept in the hands of the king only. Coming to Muhammad Tughlaq, he paid the soldiers in cash. He used a token currency made out of cheap metal. He had used a token currency, as you know, by the cheap metal, but these coins were not trusted by the people of 14th century. It could be counterfeited easily, and people saved their gold and silver coins and paid their taxes using token currencies. So in Muhammad Tughlaq's time, what had happened? This people, okay, he had decided, let's have a token. Now in that token, they had used cheap metals. Now this cheap metals, instead of gold and silver, people used to keep gold and silver and they counterfeit, means they made duplicates of that coin, which had reduced the cash balance in the empire. So this is how the whole decision, the third decision which was taken, was wrong according to the Muhammad Tughlaq. Hope children you all have understood with this topic. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.